Moving on to book 2, starting at line 40. Before now, Dido has asked Aeneas to tell the story of how he got there. So he begins by telling the story of the fall of Troy. This book and the next book are very reminiscent of books 9 through 12 of the Odyssey. At the end of book 8, Odysseus is in among the Phaeacians, I think it is. I forget. And they have asked him to tell the story of his journey, and he tells the stories of how he went all across the Mediterranean, and Aeneas will tell that story too in book 3 about his journey across the Mediterranean, which very closely mirrors Odysseus' journey. But now he's telling the story of the fall of Troy. Okay. Primus ib ant omnis magna comitante caterva laacovon ardens summa decurit ab arche. Okay, so first, Laocoon, he's the subject, and he's modified by primus, so you could say Laocoon was the first, or something like that. Ibi, then Laocoon was the first. Before all, this is accusative plural, so that's before all. This is ablative, and this is ablative, and this is a participle, so this whole thing is an ablative absolute with a great troop accompanying him. Okay, so starting again. Then, first, before all, with a great troop accompanying him, Laocoon, burning, present active participle, blazing, this means just like being very excited and passionate, runs down from the high citadel, summa also ablative, agreeing with arche. Et procul, and from a distance, imagine a verb of saying. So he's like shouting this as he's coming down. He's not even close yet, but he starts shouting this. O miseri quae tant insania cives. O pitiful men, what insanity so great, citizens. So imagine a verb like est there or something. What is this insanity so great, or why such great insanity, something like that. Creditus avectos hostis. Do you believe? Avectos, imagine that there's essay there. Do you believe that the enemy, that's a hostis, accusative, that the enemy has been carried off? That is, the Greeks have pretended to leave and leave behind a great big wooden horse known as the Greek horse. And now he's saying, do you really believe that that's possible? Because aut ulla putatis dona carere dolis danaum. Or do you suppose... Oh, this is indirect statement, by the way. Hostis, accusative, subject of this infinitive. Do you believe that the enemies have been carried off? Or do you suppose that... Another indirect statement. Here's the infinitive. Second conjugation. Ulla dona is the subject. That's neuter plural accusative. Or do you suppose that any gifts of the Greeks lack deceits? Dolis is ablative. Remember, careo, carere is one of those verbs that takes an ablative of separation, which is that. Sic notus ulixes, thus is, so you have to imagine a verb here too, like this. Thus is Ulysses known. Ulysses is Odysseus in Greek. Ulysses is not known for being so straightforward, but by being very tricky and crafty. So he's asking them about his reputation. Is thus Ulysses known? Is this the kind of thing that you think Ulysses would do? Aut hoc inclusi ligno occultantur kiwi. Aut haec in nostros fabricatas machina muros. So he's giving two alternatives here. Either, and this is hoc. Oops, try that again. Either in this wood there hide enclosed Greeks, so akiwi inclusi is the subject. Either Greeks are hiding enclosed in this wood, and look at this clever bastard. He put the word enclosed, literally being enclosed in this wood. Love it. Out hike in nostros fabricatas machina muros. No, forget, this is protolision, so if you were going to scan this, you would get rid of that thing. And so you say fabricatas when you have part of when you have est or estis or another part of sum that starts with an e, you get rid of the e instead of getting rid of this vowel here. Protolision. Don't forget that if you're asked to scan a line like this. Or, so either there's Greeks hiding in there, idoi, or hike in nostros fabricatas machina muros, or this machine has been fabricated, has been built against our walls. That is, it's a machine that is built to attack our walls. Inspectura domos, about to inspect our homes. Oh no, and they're going to find our dirty socks. No, it's like, about to spy into our houses. Inspectura, future active participle, modifying machina. So it's a machine that's built for the destruction of our walls, about to spy in on our houses, venturaque de super urbi, and about to come from above upon the city. So that looks like a dative. It's a dative. What kind of dative is that? The Far's note says it's a dative of direction with come to our city. The dative of direction is a new one on me. But you might think of it as like a dative with a compound verb, except that's not really a compound verb, so it would be kind of taking its compound verb from this verb by parallel construction. That's kind of what it feels like to me, but I don't know. Whatever. Dative of direction, if you want. We get what he means. About to come down upon the city. Aut aliquis latet error, or another error, some other unforeseen circumstance lies hidden. Equo ne credite taucri, famous line there. Do not trust the horse, Trojans. Quite simple, nice, neat half line there. Remember, credo takes a dative. Do not give credence to the horse, Trojans. Quid quidit est timeo danaos et dona ferentis. Whatever it is, I fear the Greeks, even, that's an adverbial et, even bearing gifts. This is ferentis, accusative, present active participle, accusative, modifying danaos. So the Greeks bearing gifts, I fear. Even when they are bearing gifts, I'm afraid of them. End quote. Seek fatus, thus having spoken. Fatus comes from fator, fari, what is it? Yeah, fator, fari, fatus sum. So that is having spoken. It's a deponent verb for speaking. Thus having spoken, validis in gentem viribus hastam, in latus inque feri curvam compagibus alvum contorsit. Having spoken thus, his huge spear with strong strength. So we got to do better than strong strength. Great strength, or something. You do it. In latus inque feri curvam compagibus. Into the side. And in latus neuter. So into the side. And into the belly. The curved belly. Alvum. Alvus, alvi is feminine. It's a weird, one of those very few second declension feminine nouns. So curvam, alvum, agree. Into the belly of the beast, feri neuter, curved with joints. curved with joints. So this is like an ablative of respect or something like that. Maybe it's an ablative of means, curved by means of its joints, or curved with respect to its joints. Either of those is fine. So imagine like the hull of a ship. That's what the belly of the horse looks like. I made it round, like you make the prow of it, the hull of a ship round by lapping the boards. Contorset, finally, there's our verb. Hurled. Contorted a spear. So contort really means to twist. So he's got a good spiral on this spear here. So if we take the verb first, it'll sound like this. Thus having spoken, he hurls a huge spear with great strength into the side and into the belly of the beast, curved with joints, with laps or whatever. Stetit illa tremains, illa hasta. That spear stands fast, trembling. Utero quere cuso insonuere cavai. And from the stricken belly, insonuere, from the stricken belly, the subject insonuere, so that's a perfect third person plural. Subject is kawai kawernai, which is something literally like hollows. So the hollows, or the empty insides, or something like that. The hollow, empty recesses resound and resounded, and dedera gave forth a groan. It could not be more obvious that thing is holding stuff. This is called dramatic irony. Et si fata deum, si mens non laeva fuisset, impulerat fero agricolas foedare latebras, Troiaeque nunc staret priami quarks alta maneres. This is a tricky wicky one because the author is getting very emotional now. Sorry, not the author, the narrator, who in this book and the next book is Aeneas. Aeneas is telling this story, don't forget that. So you've got Vergil writing as Aeneas, and Aeneas quoting other people like Laocoon. Complex. And si fata deum, if the fates of the gods, si manes non laeva fuisset. So we're lacking a verb there. So it's like, and I'm not even really sure what verb to put there. He just kind of breaks off that sense there. It's like he's getting choked up. He doesn't quite know what to say. And if the fates of the gods, if the mind, fuisset is pluperfect subjunctive, and this is a condition. So pluperfect subjunctive in a condition is past contrary to fact in this protasis here. This protasis, he doesn't even have a verb. Like, he hasn't even figured out what kind of a condition he's in right now until we get to here. But watch. If the mind had not been light, laivos means like light or foolish or trivial or something like that. No, sorry, that's a different word, levus. So this is laiwa, like hostile or like unfavorable. If the mind had not been unfavorable, which means something just like foolish, not thinking right. If it had not been impulerat. Now this is cuckoo because this is pluperfect, but he's switched into the indicative. So what's that doing there? It's almost like he's forgotten that this is supposed to be a contrary to fact condition, and it's become so vivid for him that he's switched into the indicative now. So let's see if we can do it. Impulerat had compelled. And the subject is new now. It's not mains, or maybe it is. Is it mains? Could be mains. Could be understood to be Laocoon, which is, I think, what far suggests. Let's see if mains will work. So it can't be fata, because that's plural. If the fates of the gods, if the mind had not been unfavorable, had it compelled us, understood, to befoul the Greek hiding places with the sword, had it compelled. That works. Mains works for me, or Laocoon, I guess. I can't say that it's not that's closer, so it makes it's in this sentence, which makes it easier for me. If the fates of the gods, if the mind had not been unfavorable, had it compelled us to befoul the Greek hiding places with the sword, staret. Now we're back into the subjunctive, but now it's imperfect. So that is a present contrary to fact. So this is something that's not true now. Troy would now stand. The high citadel of Priam would remain. Mane race. He switches into the second person there. That's pretty intense grammar going on there. That's called apostrophe when you take something as a thing and make it into like something you're talking to, an address. It's an address to a thing, an emotional address. Okay, so things not going so well for the Trojans as we expected.